The presentation I'll be sharing with you this morning is the role of strong leadership in successful digital evangelism. I'm sharing this one model of an evangelistic activity, which is digital, as part of SSD territory, which happened in South Philippine Union Conference, because I was personally involved in the creation and the design of this project. We were calling this My Journey with God. It started during the pandemic in 2020. That was the first season. And I'll be reporting about the second season. And we've been through the third season. And right now, the fourth season is still going on. We'll be finishing maybe by September 30. Yeah, those from the South are very much aware of that. And before we will go there, we use a very effective tool in sharing the gospel through media ministries by our social media outlets. And this is the first one. We have the Hope Channel South Philippines as a channel, and you will find it there. We have 130K subs, and there is another channel that we are putting up for the Hope Channel South Philippines, and we call this the Music of Hope. And this is the strongest channel so far that we have, because we are not only catering to the Seventh-day Adventist members, but the non-Adventist members who would like to wake up in the morning with serenade. We call this serenade channel because we put up religious songs and for inspiration for everyone. And of course, we have hosts for 1 hour that would greet people every now and then in between songs. And if you look at the subs, it's 719K. And these are just a few of the music that is being posted on this channel. The most popular one has 17 million views and was posted like 3 years ago, and all the rest. And you could just figure out how much money this is giving to the ministry because of the views. And of course, outside YouTube, there is this Facebook outlet that we have. We have 489K followers and all the rest. We post most of all of this broadcast and content to these channels. And of course, we also have our national broadcast, and we will always see it in our cable TVs all throughout the Philippines when we do projects like this. In the year 2021, we made the second season, and it was, again, according to the design, 40 nights. Every evening for the next 40 nights, we preach the gospel in the studio with all the brothers and sisters. All churches would put up their big screens in their churches and their homes, or those who are not having big screens like TVs, they use their small phones so that they could access the topic every night. And this was one of the last evenings that we were doing. We were so fortunate that Elder Ted Wilson was there, so he could finish the 40 nights with his maybe 3 topics until Sabbath morning. He is translated by our retired president from SPUC. And this is how it looks when we show his material up on the screen. And this is what people will see on their screens from their homes, from their churches, or from their care groups, or even individually from their small screens. And every week, we make sure that we get our figures straight. Like, for example, how many people are viewing every single night. So we get the average, and we meet every week via Zoom. And we're expecting like 250 to 300 pastors all throughout the union participating and giving in their reports, their challenges, how difficult it was to deal with authorities because police people are roaming around during lockdowns, and it was never allowed. So they had to be discreet in all their activities. So this is the reporting time every single week. And out of the report, we get this few figures consolidated from the entire place without even accounting for outside territories like Central Philippines, North Philippines, or even those who are watching around the world, we never account them. So this is the accounting that we had. For the Seventh-day Adventist viewers and participants, we have 111, I'm sorry. And for the non-Seventh-day Adventists that are accounted, meaning they are placed in the list and submitted, all the figures that we get is 117,831. And this was designed to be not fully digital because we wanted that while we do it digitally, there has to be a contact with people somewhere or everywhere. So for all the people we could reach, we make sure we printed these lessons so we could share with them. And the ones sharing, like local members or pastors or care group members or leaders, this was our way of contacting them and making follow-up with them. So it was like a warfare that has an airstrike, and at the same time, there is a ground force validating the result of the activity. So 60,000 were handed out, 46,000 were taken in, and at the end of the 40 nights, a baptism of 28,000 was given by God as a result of this. And I was trying to take a look at the ratio between Seventh-day Adventists who would endorse or invite a non-Adventist friend. According to this figure, with 206,000 and compared to 117, there is at least, for 2 Adventists, there is 1 friend not Seventh-day Adventist participating. And with the attendance of 117,000 compared to the number of baptism, it is at least more or less for every 4 being invited, 1 should be baptized. And for every Seventh-day Adventist who participates, 8 Seventh-day Adventists, there is 1 being baptized. These are, I think, very encouraging figures in a sense. And while we were doing this, we also made sure that it was not just the ordinary evangelistic activity. We made sure we had digital missionaries. And one of these missionaries that I never met before, it was only like this year that I met her personally, is Sherry May Nadura. She used to be a theology student from Mountain View College during the time that we were doing the activity. And she was giving Bible study digitally to one of our digital students who is not in the Philippines. She was Filipino, but living outside the country in Belgium. Belgium is a very far away place. And for the first season, she was so much interested. And finally, in the second season, she decided she will be baptized. But at the time of her baptism, it was winter season in Belgium. So she had to move like 1,000 miles away to Denmark to receive her baptism. And that is Sister Virgie van Houwermeren. She was baptized. And then eventually she went home to the Philippines for a vacation. And I had the opportunity to meet these 2 persons, the digital missionary and the digital student, for the first time. And it was a big opportunity for me to witness God's miracles in digital ministry. Now, the topic that we are presenting here is the role of strong leadership in successful digital evangelism. I would like to call in different roles and how our leaders were behaving during these activities. Now, the president, what was he doing? The president at that time is Pastor Kaderma, and fortunately, he is our division president right now. Firstly, he was very passionate of saving souls. While it is one thing to love the members of our church, it's another to love those who are not yet members of our church. And this is where passion for saving souls come in. If we have a leader. We are all leaders here, especially if you are the top leader, if you are very passionate for saving souls, you will never stop thinking as to how we could create ideas to reach out to these people. It all began one day when he went shopping, and he came to an appliance store that sold on sale 32 inches smart TVs, and it was sold for like $200. And he said, oh, if I'm going to spend the evangelism budget to purchase these gadgets and give this to all the district pastors throughout the union, and of course, the idea was, the salesman told him, sir, you can actually do a mirror of your cell phone to this screen here. And when he was shown, then it was the aha moment for him. And he said, well, we'll try this. We are on the pandemic, and we will spend 40 nights for this project so that people who are staying at home would have something to watch. And so that was the beginning. And he was the one who conceptualized the project, and he commissioned a team to design and polish the project. And part of that design was to assign his counterpart presidents, which were 7 of them at that time, so he would be number 8, and for 8 of them, it means they will have 5 topics each every evening for the next 40 nights. And he said, I want the presidents to be preachers because the directors and all the members will support the president. They are afraid of presidents. So that was the idea. And we did that. And he also, aside from that, he also works with his co-officers for mutual support and funding. Now let's proceed to the roles of the executive secretary. Obviously, the executive secretary is very supportive, so that's his role. He provides oversight for the project team. Of course, during all our committee meetings in designing the program, he was there. He was giving insights and guidance as to how we should do it perfectly. And then he also works with co-officers for mutual support and funding. Now, this is another very crucial aspect of the success for any evangelistic activity, the treasurer. The treasurer, obviously, is the evangelistic finance chair. And when we speak of digital evangelism, it is very obviously expensive, and it takes for brave finance officers to approach these projects. So he was there. He makes sure every aspect of the project is well funded. He appropriates funding to all organizations and institutions. The budget that we received for evangelism for that year from SSD, he made sure that every organization was received an appropriation. And it was not only the missions and conferences, he made sure that even the institutions, the colleges, the universities, the hospitals, academies, and schools have their share so that they could participate. So you could see that every night, all dormitories would have their monitors going on for all these activities. All hospital TVs are on with all these activities that goes on every night. And he also allocates funds for production, studio equipment. He provides funds to support the crew and volunteers every night. And in keeping with the word digital, he appropriates funds for digital missionaries. I'll show you in the next slide. And he calls these digital missionaries as digital ushers and usherettes. He was trying to imagine that on a normal gathering, when we have ushers and usherettes welcoming people, he figures out that these digital missionaries are the digital ushers for these activities. And this is who they are. We have an average of 1,300 of them at work every single night for the next 40 nights. And an average of maybe 100 or 120 per, 120 or 150 per mission and conference that are stationed to take care of their different pages and Facebook page. And the first one are the marketers. They are the ones sharing. And the second division of them are the response team. Every comment is being responded to. They make sure everyone that gives their comment, even if it's just a thumbs up or icons, they are being responded to. And people are aware that these are not robots that do the auto response. So they respond to every comment out there. And they are also assigned as psychosocial support. They are trained. They do Zoom and train as to how to approach people who are suicidal, people who are problematic. And this is an organized team right now. And we also have a team that is in charge of Bible study. They are called the frontliners. They are the students from our theology departments of the 2 colleges within Mindanao, and they sign up. One of them is the one that we just showed, Sister Nadura. And another special division are the prayer warriors. They do not just pray through their comments. We give them a different package, which is a call package. They ask for their phone numbers, and right away, as soon as they have the numbers, they call them and pray for them. And it's just very amazing that the investment that we are giving to these missionaries is only $12 each for the next 40 nights. That's all it costs to support our digital missionaries during this evangelistic activity. So most of them are students, some of them are even young professionals, some are businessmen who would just give their time and dedicate their time to sign up while these activities are going on. So again, to recap, we need a strong leadership that will really push every digital project. It does not require that this president or even the secretary is tech savvy, because most of them do not know how to use their gadgets, except probably for treasurers who are well-versed with computers. Doesn't need for a person or a leader to be tech savvy. We can just use individuals and make plans to accomplish this goal. So thank you for the time. May God bless everyone as we pray for each other.